Yo, welcome to another installment of Portuguese Lost Media, cause we never get sick of it. And also it's been a year since Volume 2 and I know you guys wanted Volume 3, so here it is. But before we get into the main stuff, I'd like to share an update on the case of Kids Go Portugal. On the last vid, I said that we only had the bumper to prove the existence of the channel, but late last year, almost 1 year ago, while I was in a call with a friend on Discord, he sent me these 1-second videos he recorded in 2012 with the 3DS of Kids Go Portugal. I know what you're probably thinking, the quality is ass and you can't really hear anything from the videos. Those really count as found media? In the current landscape of Portuguese Lost Media, yes my friend, these are golden. Without further ado, roll the intro. SpongeBob has a lot of lost media under its belt, but fortunately most of them are already recovered. But not one, and this one is a personal of mine. I remember watching a bumper on the channel TVE and later on YouTube promoting the airing of the first SpongeBob movie on the channel. I'd say this was around 2013 and 2014, and I've scoured the entire internet and I can't find it. From what I remember, it was just the announcer saying how cool SpongeBob was and how he's in for a new adventure while showing clips from the movie. There wasn't anything in particular in this bumper that stood up this one from other bumpers. It was just a basic SpongeBob movie bumper that I watched as a kid, and it so happens that it's lost 1 decade later. It might not be everyone's favorite, but I need this found, ASAP. Before Cartoon Network became a Portuguese spoken channel in 2013, we had Cartoon Network with the European signal and spoken in English, thus not many kids were watching it. I was, not much, but I remember watching CN Europe once or twice as a kid. It was not a popular channel compared to the likes of Disney Channel and Nickelodeon, but leaving these awesome cartoons without a dub would be a waste. So during the 2000s, multiple Portuguese channels would create dubs for a variety of Cartoon Network shows. We got Powerpuff Girls on TVE, Dexter's Lab and Ben 10 on SIC, and so on. And these dubs would later be re-aired on Portuguese Cartoon Network. But some dubs were simply forgotten and became lost without a re-airing on CN, and these are the Cow and Chicken and I Am Weasel dubs that aired on TVE in the year 2000, though you can find the openings for both of them very easily on YouTube. The Johnny Bravo SIC dub from 2000 and the Samurai Jack 2002 dub that aired on the channels RTP1 and RTP2. These dubs are completely lost media, and not a single clip is available online. What a bummer. As someone who grew up primarily with Portuguese Cartoon Network and being a fan of old CN shows, I wanted to see these shows back, and we never got a chance of seeing Samurai Jack, Adventure Time, Ben 10 and Powerpuff Girls all airing in the same channel with the right language. What could have been? Video games made in Portugal are a rarity, but this Portuguese game was shown on E3 and is now lost media. Ugo Volt, formerly known as Flow, Prospects of Mayhem, was a cancelled game developed by Move Interactive, and it was an FPS game set on a post-apocalyptic Lisbon. And like I said before, the game was shown on E3 2006 with an unfinished build, but the tech demo was later shown on interviews and other conventions. The game was planned to release on PC, PS3 and Xbox 360, but the project was shelved in 2007 in favor of another game, Floribela the Game, based on the SIC show and also to fund money for Ugo Volt. The company shut down in June 2008, and with it, Ugo Volt. Footage of the game, interviews and even a news report is available on YouTube. But what we need is a playable build. But given the situation, it's very unlikely that will ever happen, but who knows? Thanks to Ruined Rose from Volume 2 for the suggestion. Like Cartoon Network, for the longest time we didn't have Nickelodeon on Portuguese households. We did get shows like the Rugrats and SpongeBob in other channels, but we ain't talking about those. On June 1st, 2005, Nickelodeon Portugal officially premiered and they went all out for the launch party with a full articulated cat dog costume and everything. Source? This comment I received on the last episode. Thanks by the way. I tried and tried, but information about the launch party is practically non-existent. I even tried asking TV historians, but they don't even know what I'm talking about. But also no one knows how the channel began. This doesn't outright disprove the YouTube comment, but also, how did they get this information? I really hope this launch party is real, cause I want to see that cat dog costume. It genuinely sounds cool. On January 2005, Winx Club first premiered on the channel RTP1, and from there, many channels also began airing the series with some even with alternate dubs. In the same year, SIC and later Canal Panda began airing Winx Club with a less known dub. This dub was produced by the dubbing studio via satellite and only covered the first season. SIC only aired the show for a month and Canal Panda ran season 1 from 2006 to 2007, and after that, the dub was never seen again. When Canal Panda re-aired season 1 in 2011, they used the original RTP dub, cause that one was the most popular. Only one episode was found from the via satellite dub, and that's really about it. I'm not the biggest Winx Club fan, but I would be lying if I said it wasn't a part of my childhood. If you have footage of the dub, please let me know. Ooh, Morangos com Açúcar! How I fucking hate this show! For context, Morangos com Açúcar was a popular soap opera made by TVI and ran from 2003 to 2012. The show is about the daily routines and shenanigans of a group of teens. I was never into this show. Never was, never will be. The show has over 2000 episodes, and with that number, you might think that a portion of those episodes are lost and that's the topic of this segment. But you're actually wrong. What we're talking today is a lost Wella Shockwave Scream commercial featuring two actors from the show. Francisco Adam and Inês Castelo Branco were featured on a cream commercial somewhere in the mid to late 2000s, and there's not a piece of video or audio available online. But we have 3 images of the commercial, and thank you Dimitri from the Wiki Dobragens Discord server for the suggestion and the images. We talked about Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, so it's only fair to mention Disney Channel. This is just something interesting I found on YouTube a couple of years ago. During the spring season in 2006, Disney Channel Portugal aired a bumper featuring a parody of the song Video Killed the Radio Star by the Bugles, with the voice actors of various cartoons of the channel singing it. It's just some corny song about how Disney Channel is the best channel on TV and whatever, you can find the music on YouTube. But what you can't find is the visuals of the bumper. It's a similar situation to Canal Panda's theme I mentioned on Volume 1. We don't know how the bumper looked like, and I'm genuinely so curious what was their intention with the bumper. The song's just bad. I'm sorry. After 3 decades, TVI has become the indisputable king of soap operas, whether they're good or bad. But their first one is lost, and that's Telhados de Vidro. Telhados de Vidro aired from February 1993 to August 1993, with 120 episodes. And aside from some clips and a banger intro, seriously, I can't get enough of the song, the entire show is lost media. Even TVI's streaming service that has absolutely everything TV related doesn't have this show. It re-aired sometime in the early 2010s on TVI's sister channel, TVI Ficção, but that's really about it. But who knows? Earlier this year, one of the most popular Portuguese soap operas, Jardins Proibidos, was added to the streaming service and was finally found after 23 years. So I pray that TVI does the same thing with Telhados de Vidro. Tokyo Mew Mew, also known as Mew Mew Power, was a popular shoujo anime that premiered in 2002 in Japan. Here in Portugal, we received the series in 2006 in Canal Panda with the dub based on the American 4Kids dub, and because of that, the series was known as Mew Mew Power during its Canal Panda run. But also in 2009, the anime began airing in the channel SIC with a completely new dub based on the Italian dub. But also in 2009, the anime began airing in the channel SIC with a completely new dub based on the Italian dub, which was based on the Japanese original, and for this run, it received the original name Tokyo Mew Mew. And guess what? Both of these dubs are lost. Well, partially lost. The Canal Panda dub received only half of the original episodes, with 26 episodes in total, and currently, episodes 1, 3, 12 and 15 have been fully archived, with some clips of episodes 6, 13 and 23. And for the SIC dub, we only have episode 26 found, but keep in mind that this version received all 52 episodes. What can we do, right? Fernando is a Portuguese singer and actor. He began his music career in 2006 and blah blah blah, you don't need to know the rest. I've honestly never heard of this guy, but Kinomoto really wanted me to talk about this. Shout out by the way, cool guy. FF, apparently that's his artist name, I'm calling him that from now on, released a song called Tudo Que Quero, or Everything I Want in English. The song's alright, but there was once a music video of the song and you can't really find it anywhere. Really? Even though it's a topic that I'm not interested in, I can't find any information about the music video. It's like it never existed. I believe Kino is not the only FF fan in the world, so if there's another FF fan somewhere, check your old stuff. This is more of a broad topic, but I have a question, and this is not only for the Portuguese viewers. Do you remember pirated TV and radio stations? I don't know if it's still a thing anymore, but those were fairly common in the 80s and 90s. Bootleg TV was everywhere in the world, and Portugal was no exception. But I ain't gonna lie, I couldn't find a single pirate channel from Portugal. This topic is so obscure and buried 20 feet under that I believe that the only people that know about these stations were the ones that had those said channels. Google ain't gonna cut it, unfortunately. But when we talk about radio on the other hand, in the early 80s, people got tired of the same 3 radio stations, and that's why pirated radio stations started popping up during the decade. Amateur radio stations made with terrible equipment. Literally anyone could create a radio station. It was kinda like YouTube in a way. But all things must come to an end, and in 1989, pirated radio stations were shut down, and finding any recordings is nearly impossible. This may be the hardest case to find, cause it's just impossible to find them all, let alone 5 of them. But just imagine the world if pirated radio stations still existed. And I saved the best for last, cause it's about one of the most acclaimed Nickelodeon shows of the last 20 years, Planet Sheen. Planet Sheen is a spin-off of the show Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. It released in 2010 and yeah, people hate this cartoon. Okay, yeah, it's not the best, but you gotta love that opening, man, especially the Portuguese version. Wait, there is no way. There is no way that Planet Sheen of all shows is Lost Media. Yeah, how did we fail? Why couldn't we archive the Portuguese dub of Planet Sheen? I know the show is garbage, but as a stupid kid that ate grass for fun, I loved Planet Sheen, and that intro really stuck up with me after all these years. The whole dub is lost, but if I'm being honest, I only want that intro. I want to hear it one more time. Please. And that was Portuguese Lost Media Volume 3. 1 year, man. For everyone that stuck up with the channel since the other volumes, you guys are the most patient people I know. Wow. If I got something wrong in the video, which I probably have cause I'm not familiar with half of these topics, please let me know. And yeah, it's getting late, so thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next time. Take care and happy hunting. You guys are awesome.